Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, friends. We are finally to the end of the year. We have officially made it to the end of the year. We're a few days out, and I don't know about you, but I am ready for a new year. I'm ready for, I don't want to say a fresh start, but I'm definitely ready for a new year. 2023 kind of, dragged me through the mud. So definitely ready for a new year. And to start our new year, we are hosting a masterclass, which I'm really excited about because if you know me, you know that my masterclasses are not lame and boring and just one massive pitch, but that I jam pack my masterclasses into essentially a workshop and I give you all the things. I do not hold back in my masterclasses. So you are not going to want to miss that. You will want to click the link and sign up below right now. Inside this masterclass, we are going to talk about mastering your messaging, which is also what we're going to talk about today in this podcast episode. But we are going to deep dive in that episode on how to master your messaging, because this is one of the biggest things that people are having a hard time with when it comes to selling their offer, is missing the messaging aspect of it and how to actually talk to your audience so that you can turn your audience into paying clients instead of just being motivational on your social media. So many of you are posting and praying probably without even knowing it, because there are actual components that need to be put into place in order to master your messaging and turn your content into people who want to actually buy from you. So we are going to have this masterclass live on January 3rd at 9 AM CST. You will get access to the replay, but we're going to help you turn your audience into buyers. You're going to stop posting and praying. You'll know exactly how to create content that speaks directly to your audience. You'll be able to build trust and authority with your content instead of just chasing trends and never knowing what to say. You will always know what to post when you are on social media. And we even talk about how to set up your content in your schedule so that you know exactly what you're talking about. But more than that, you're able to create sales from it. So you essentially have a portfolio of content that sells for you that you can then repurpose into other locations. We will also help you use our strategy of creating trust and authority. Now, this is one of the biggest things that people miss, is the trust aspect, because people will only buy from you if they trust you, right? So that's the first part, is trust and authority, because not only do they have to trust you, but then they have to build authority from you to see you as the expert in whatever it is that you're talking about. And so these two pieces have to be paired together in order to make your content convert. Now, the second thing we use is our strategy. So we use offer story plus bridge method plus storytelling method in order to create content that speaks clearly to your ideal client, that has them ready to sign up, that has them ready to buy from you, and you can stop posting and praying. Stop spending hours creating content. Always know how to book clients. Stop posting trends. You need to be in that room. You need to get in there, okay? So if you are a service provider or a coach, you're tired of not knowing what to post online, you're tired of your content not doing anything for you, but you also at the exact same time feel like you need to post content, this is for you. So go to the link below, sign up. It is $27 to join the masterclass on January 3rd. You will have access to the replay. Now let's get into today's episode, talking all about mastering your messaging. First thing is, this is a hill that I will die on, but it's also a hill I'll die on because I know that it's true and I know that it works. Now, let me actually preface this by saying too, when I talk to you guys about creating content and creating content that converts and mastering your messaging, the first thing is that what I teach are things that have never gone out of style. So storytelling method, speaking directly to your audience, and the bridge method have been used forever to create content and to be able to sell people from your content. And then using email first and then social media second, because email has been around since I started an online business 8 years ago, and it has never gone away. Instead of chasing trends, instead of chasing what works in the moment. Now, this is the thing, is doing what works in the moment is awesome. Like jumping on reels or jumping on TikToks or like whatever the latest thing is to get traction, sure, go ahead and do it. But you also need to have a long game strategy, right? Podcasting, emailing, Pinterest, like things that have not changed for years and years and years, so that you can continuously drive traffic regardless of what's happening on social media. That is like one of the biggest pieces. But another thing that people are missing is realizing is that you cannot create content that converts if you have not mastered your offer. Now, there is a way to master your offer. Of course, I teach it in group coach school. We call it offer story, so that you know what your offer does, right? And you have to position an offer in order to speak to our audience, because for so many of you, you're really, really good at what you do. You're good at your skills, but you're not good at talking to your audience about what it is that you do, because you're not speaking their language, right? You're speaking your language. And so for a lot of you, you're selling people on what they need, but you're not selling people on what they want. And the thing is people buy what they want. People buy out of a place of what they think that they need or want, which is also it fulfills some emotion within them. And if you're not speaking to that emotion and to that fulfillment, then you're missing the mark. But for a lot of you, you're just building your offer based on what you know people need. And so that's not converting. And then you go out and talk about it on social, and then no one's buying from you because they're like, yeah, I don't need that thing. And you're like, yeah, I know you do. So we teach you to sell people what it is that they want or what it is that they perceive that they need, and then give them both. So when they join the program, you give them what they want, you give them what they think they need, and you also give them what you know you need. And then when you do that, you will blow their mind. They're like, oh my God, this is so much better than I ever expected. You actually get clients' results because you are doing this. But that is the key to learning how to convert your audience into buyers, is knowing exactly what it is that they think they want and need. Now, the thing is, you're not going to be deceptive. You're not going to sell them something that you're not actually providing, but you're going to be able to leverage this in your messaging based on whatever it is that your offer is, what you're selling, right? Because you also want to help sell the transformation. People buy from desire. People buy from a place of what they want or where they think this is going to take them. And so people aren't just out buying, like, yes, they're buying solutions, but they're buying solutions based on desires, right? And so you have to be able to speak that into your content and speak your audience's language. And a lot of this is just knowing your audience better. So being really good at market research. Inside Group Coach School, we give you a template to do market research on social media, email, or wherever it is that you talk to your audience, so that you can get really clear on what it is that they say they want and need and how they speak. And a lot of times what my audience find, or my clients find, is that their audience either, number one, isn't aligned at all to their offer and they have to find a new audience, or their audience is wanting, needing, or saying something completely different than what they've been selling them. And those are the two biggest things that are allowing you to not make the sales in your business, because you don't know how to talk to your audience, or you don't have the correct audience. And so again, that's where lead generation needs to come in order to bring in the right people. But you can't do any of that if you do not have your offer story built, because you have to know who it is that you serve and what it is that your offer does. And then what is the result that your offer gives. Now, this is the problem that people have, is when I say, who does your offer help? They're like moms, creatives, entrepreneurs, service providers, coaches, online business owners. I'm like, okay, great. But that is a very, very wide bracket. And we need to know very specifically who your offer serves, who's qualified to get the best results from this offer. Because if we don't know those things, then it's going to be really hard time using our marketing to find these people, because that's a wide bracket and you're speaking to a wide range of people versus just speaking very specifically to like one or two people. So this is the step number one, is getting very, very clear on who you serve. Now, what I would suggest is, if you're like, okay, I serve service providers, I'm like, okay, great. So what does your offer do? Tell me more about your offer. What is your formula for your offer? What is your framework? What is it that your offer does? What is it that your offer gives? So then we go to, what is the offer's promise or result? Now, for so many of you, you don't want to give guarantees. And if you're in group coach school, you have to. We teach you how, but you have to give a guarantee. More and more people today are buying things that are solving specific problems in their business, but also that come with some kind of promise or guarantee, so they know exactly what it is that they're getting. There's no more of this like, very vague programs anymore. People are not buying vague programs anymore for the most part. And if they are, it's because the coach is an influencer or the coach has a following of a large magnitude. And so people are actually buying the coach and not the program. So I need you to remember that if you're not on that level of influencer, thousands of followers, and I'm not talking down to you if you're not, I'm not there. I don't want to be there. My goal is not to be an influencer. My goal is just to be a really good coach. And if that happens to come with followers, then great, but I prefer it come with paying clients who really, really like working together and get results. So what I'm saying to you is they sell completely different than what you're going to do when you sell your offer, but that's okay. And you have to come to terms with you're not, Ali Reeves, you're not Jenna Kutcher, and stop trying to beat and sell like them because it's not going to work for you because they have built this massive audience that is willing to buy anything from them because they have built the trust and authority factor with their community, right? It's like Apple. Apple products have come out and they have a cult-like following, and people who buy Apple products refuse to buy from any other company. Regardless of what Apple drops, they typically buy it. That is the exact same thing. So it wouldn't matter if Apple dropped a home phone, people would buy it because Apple dropped it, right? Where if like some small company that you never heard of dropped a home phone, you're like, yeah, I'm not buying a home phone. No one uses home phones anymore, right? That's the same thing. So we would need to think of, for you, you need to have a very, very clear and specific outcome and result so that people know exactly what it is that they're getting. It solves a specific problem for them and they know the result that it's going to get them. And then we back that up with, why does this result matter to your audience? Again, you need to know your audience. You need to know what it is that they want. So for me, I know that my audience, they want to make six figures, but more than making six figures, which is a tangible result, what they want is to be able to pay off debt. What they want is to be able to travel, buy land, start a farm. They want to be able to take care of their family. They want to be the breadwinner. Like they want to retire with their husband. Like those are the things that my audience has told me. And so then when I say, I'm going to help you launch a group coaching program that makes $100,000 a year so that you can buy land, buy the farm, buy the home, pay off the debt, put all your bills on auto pay, that speaks directly to my audience, right? And so this is where we need to get really clear and specific about what your offer does, who it helps, how it helps them. And this is going to create your content for you. This is where your messaging and your marketing has to start, but you have to know the answer to all of these questions. And if you don't know the answer and you need help accumulating these answers, you need to come to our masterclass because this is exactly what I'm going to teach you. This is the foundation. This is step one. So you can't just go out and create content that everyone else is creating, right? Everyone else is like doing maybe specific content around a topic, and then you jump on the train of that topic, or you jump on the train of creating content like that. But how does that connect you to your audience? How does that build trust? How does that build authority? How does that talk about your offer? How does that talk about the transformation that you give your clients? And how does that speak their language? So a lot of it is just cleanup, because for so many of you, you have either really good skills or a really good offer, but you just don't know how to articulate that offer into content. But when you go through and build out your own offer story and your own framework and curriculum, then you know who you help and how you help them and what you do and the steps that you help them take in order to get to this transformation. So for instance, I help service providers and coaches build group coaching programs, but my qualified buyer inside of being a service provider or a coach is somebody who wants a group coaching program, somebody who wants to scale their business. They've been in business before. They already have been making money. They have a skill they want to put into a group. I have a whole list of qualifiers on my group coach school page. That is my ideal client that I'm speaking to when I'm creating content. So I'm not just speaking in general to service providers and coaches. I'm not just speaking in general to people who want a group coaching program. I'm speaking very, very specifically to the person who is qualified for group coach school in order to build and launch and sell their group coaching program. Because I know that if I speak directly to this one person who is looking for the coach to help them build their group coach offer and to be able to launch it and sell it and have marketing and sales skills for the rest of their business, and I speak directly to her, she's going to be ready to buy because of how I've talked to her about her offer or my offer and her desires and bridging the gap between where she is and where she wants to be. That's called the bridge gap, the bridge method that we teach you too. And then you want to pair that with storytelling, right? Because that's what builds trust is storytelling. Now, for so many of you, you think storytelling is your entire story from start to finish, but storytelling is small stories and small pieces within your offer that creates trust with your buyer. Right. So for instance, and then you want to also like overcome objections. So for me, a lot of people have objections of what if I can't fill a group coaching program, or I think I need a one-to-one coach first, or I don't have a big enough audience and I don't think anyone will buy from me. So I overcome those objections within my content, and I even overcome them with storytelling because that's what creates trust. So I say something like, when I first started my group coaching program, my first ever group coaching program, I was so nervous because I did not have a full one-to-one roster yet. And I didn't have that big of an audience. I only had like a couple hundred people on my email list. And I had never built a group coaching program before this. So I had no proof that people were going to actually join. I had a very, very small audience, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Because I am in the position where I'm tired of trying all the other things. I've tried courses and VIP days and services, and I'm tired of trading time for dollars. And so I'm going to launch my first group coaching program, even though I hadn't filled my one-to-one roster yet, and I had a very, very small audience, and I wasn't an influencer, and I wasn't known in my niche. And that launch, my first ever launch, was a $30,000 launch of my group coaching program, right? So in there, I'm telling a story, I'm building trust, I'm building connection, I'm overcoming objections, and I'm talking about the result of which it is that my audience wants, all within one piece of content. That's how we're going to teach you to take your offer and your skill and turn it into content that actually connects, builds trust, builds authority, and converts, right? So if you are like, I need this because I'm tired of posting and praying, I'm tired of posting on social media and people commenting how inspirational and motivational I am, but no one's actually buying from me, you need to join the masterclass. Click the link below. Join our masterclass for January 3rd. You will have access to the replay. It is live. If you can come live, definitely do, because it's going to be one that you do not want to miss. And applications are going to open in a couple weeks for Group Coach School. So get your application in. We are taking limited people in 2024. And if you are ready to completely transform the way that you do business, you're tired of trading time for dollars, you want to actually step into your CEO era. You want to step into making money and serving clients at a really high level without a lot of trading time for dollars and being capped. You need to apply right now. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will chat with you on the next episode.